Hello, and you're very welcome to a masterclass in minutes as part of the UCD Festival here with us at Create Sound, as you can see, where we'll be making a music track in minutes using some of the latest music software that we use on our courses and workshops. To keep it interesting and in the spirit of the festival, we'll be kindly joined from UCD by some alumni and students, Orla, Gavin, Niamh and Anna, who will be helping us with some samples and fan sounds. So hopefully it'll be a bit interactive and we can make a track featuring a little bit of everyone.
Oh.
I'm going to pass over to my colleague Cian first, who's going to run a short Zoom session with our willing volunteers to record a few vocal samples. Then we'll come back and put those together for our track.
As Gav said, today we're going to be making a track. We're going to be doing that inside of Ableton, which is a music software. So I guess I'll just show you what it looks like first of all. Yeah, so in this software, we're not going to go through it today, right? But just so we all know, in the center here, there's a bunch of different kind of color-y things. Inside these color-y boxes, there's a bunch of sounds. Like air horns or kids laughing. So what we're going to do today is we're going to make our own sounds. We're going to make our own clips. We're going to organize them into... They're all going to come from our mouths or from around the room or whatever. Gav raises eyebrows. All right, Gavin, you are our volunteer.
Let's go for it.
I'm going to mute you, Gav Tinman. All right, so... Gav, just tell me, what did you have for dinner today? Or dinner yesterday. It's the morning time.
Oh, dinner yesterday. Curry.
Curry? All right. Can you see what's going on there in the program?
Yeah, I can.
Talk?
As I'm talking, I can see the volume, so it's picking up my voice, obviously.
What I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to kind of hone in on the sound. See the way I'm like clicking and dragging that bar? So if I push play now, it's going to start from here.
Oh.
There you are.
Dinner yesterday.
All right.
Curry.
Right, find a good bit, will we?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. So we can transpose you down a little bit. So here it is before.
Yeah.
And then we can go.
Oh God.
Sick.
Straight from the depths of hell.
Yeah.
I can.
I guess let's get a different volunteer. So let's go with Orla. Orla, we're gonna need a sample from yourself.
Okay.
So could you just say ooh?
Ooh.
Okay. Could you just say it for like a little bit longer?
Oh yeah.
Just slightly longer than that.
Ooh.
Yes, look at that big juicy ooh. Woo! Let's put this on our instrument. I'm gonna click and drag it down again and just drop it in here. So now it is under my fingers again. Oh, sorry, I couldn't hear that. There's Orla's beautiful voice. Actually, you know what the first thing you have to do anytime you start sampling is you need to play this melody. There you go, Orla. Yeah, so something maybe that we can do to this to make it kind of cool. This can be the start of our song, right? So I'm gonna get some audio effects, which some of you guys might know, some of you might not. There's this audio effect called reverb. And what it's gonna do is gonna make the sound kind of far away, like in a fairyland cave. We've gone from an ooh to something that's actually kind of usable, right? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna up the release here. Give me that. Let's start putting together a drum beat, right? So we've got a cool instrument that now we can use as our pad. that came from Orla. So I guess we haven't had any contribution from Neve or Anna. So let's start making some drums.
Okay.
Make that sound again. Make that sound again.
Okay.
Neve, could you give us a clap?
Sure.
Slick. Okay, what I'm going to do is on the left hand side here, I'm just going to search for some sort of a drum kit. Any of them really will do. I'll just take this one and I'll drop it in. So you'll see actually the drum kit shows up down here and I can play it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag these sounds that we made. You see the one that I called hi-hats and the one that I called clap. I'm just going to drag them into our drum beat or into our drum, and you'll see it shows up, that kind of instrument shows up. So now it's down here on my fingers. So that's Anna's. Yeah, that's starting to be cool. Okay, let's get the clap then in as well. Gonna click and drag the clap. I'm gonna hone in on this clap, hone in on a good bit. Oh, what do you reckon? I think that second one was pretty good. Can anyone do like a water droplet-y sound with their mouth?
Mm.
Yeah, we might get one of them.
Thank you so much, Gavin, Anna, and Orla for coming on. You're so,
Yeah,
so
really,
good.
really appreciate it, guys. Thanks a lot.
Take out the time in the
Thanks
middle of the
so
day.
Yeah,
Thanks for
yeah.
having us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks
All
for having
right,
us.
all right. So I just want to record one other sound as well. I found this beautiful envelope on the table to give us another layer, another different sound. Give it a crinkle there. Great. Okay, so here we are. Let's recap on what we have recorded so far. So with the envelope crinkles, some very quiet pops from Orla, our Neve claps, hats from Anna,
Oh.
oohs from Orla, an O from Gavin, and
Yeah.
some yes from Gavin too. Okay, let's start shaping this up a bit. So I'm going to start with these envelope crinkles. So I'm just going to take that. I'm going to create a new track, bring it in, and we might be able to use this to create an interesting layer. So there's our crinkle. So I'm just firstly going to condense it into a nice 2-bar loop. We could snap those to the grid using something called quantize. Let's have a listen. Yeah, I think we'll get away with that, and maybe we'll put on some effects, bit of reverb, bit of delay. It's got a little bit of a percussive layer we'll try and use. Let's bring out our Gavin. So, okay, so let's say what we could do is maybe if we get a drum rack, empty drum rack here, and put Gavin on a couple of these pads. We have him saying yeah and oh. Let's go and listen to
Yeah.
And as Cian did, we can go into that sample. Okay, I'm happy enough with it starting there, and maybe transpose them down a bit. Maybe five semitones.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, we'll call that yeah.
Oh.
And then we got the O. I also hear a bit of a mumble, so we might use that too. So once we have those loaded, we can see we have our
Yeah.
Oh.
and our mumble. So
Yeah.
maybe you could put a yeah every
Yeah.
2 bars or something. Again, let's do our bit of reverb on that too.
Yeah.
Let's have a bit of delay on them as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've changed the microphone there just to my laptop mic because it was on the sensitive one while I was doing the recording, and it was picking up my breathing, wrecking my head. No doubt it was wrecking your head too. So moving on to the drums. Similarly, like we did loading with Gavin samples, we have loaded up Anna on the hats, Neve on the clap, Orla on the pop, onto the pads of a drum machine. treated them a little bit to bring up the volume and drowned it in the reverb like our other samples. So I have, because we'll be here all day if you watch me program every beat in, but I was able to draw in beats where I wanted them. I put Orla in as a little kind of detail every now and again. We have Arnive in on the clap in a classic place, 2 and 4 in a bar. So let's listen to that. I've also put a kick in here as well, just to create a bit of a pattern. So there's Arnive clap on our Orla pop. And then when it comes to Anna, ye old classic kick, hats, So we're bringing in that hats with a kick too. And we have some drums to work with. So moving on to some melody, as Cian set up in the Zoom call, we have our Orla U, which he pulled onto a sampler instrument, which means that we can play Orla on a keyboard or similar. So there's our similar O's. We could play it as chords, but when you hold down the chords, you do hear a bit of a warble due to the sample. So I'm going to try and work with some short notes. Up the scale a little bit. Here's one I made or recorded just a moment ago to save us a little bit of time. So just a little selection of notes going up and down. So we're turning our Orla U into a little bit of a melody pattern. I'm going to duplicate this too, maybe to add another little bit of interest. So on this one, maybe I could take an effect, like a MIDI effect, an arpeggiator. What I'll need to do is select all the notes, drag them out a bit so that they run on for longer. Now we can mess around with this arpeggiation thing a little bit. So I can that's basically repeating notes for me up and down the scale, and keeping it in key because I chose 12 semitones, which is an octave. So hopefully, that'll give us another layer. Okay, so let's have a listen to all of this together. I have all the clips we've done. Made a little arrangement here. I've added a couple more parts, a bass and a sort of more vocally part. Because Orla's U is quite clean, I was able to make a sine wavy simple bass and some more vocally sounding chants. So let's kick off with our Gavin, our envelopes and our Orla ping. We'll bring in the kick. Then we'll bring in some Neve claps. Which I jumped a bit too quick into, but anyway. And we got some Anna hats. Let's bring up the Orla synths. Bring in the second part. And let's bring in our bass and the droppers. We'll drop in now in a second. And there we go. Our track made from our UCD vocals. So enjoy the rest of the festival. Thanks a million for having us. If you're interested in any of our workshops or courses, or if you have any questions about music production in general, we're always happy to chat. Just look us up, createsound.ie.